In this video, I'm going to show you how to place the rear brake calipers on this Honda Accord. Located right behind your rear wheels, so let's get started. Use a 19mm socket, remove all 5 lug nuts, and then remove the wheel. From the backside of the caliper, let's disconnect the parking brake cable. There's a 12mm headed bolt right here. You can see the end of it poking through. Let's unthread that. With that undone, you should be able to pop this out of that bracket and remove the cable off of the hook. You can set this aside. Next, we're going to go up to the brake hose and the banjo bolt, really. We're going to break this free, but snug it back up. I'm going to use an 11mm wrench. Now, typically, I believe it's going to be a 12mm if you still have the original caliper, original banjo bolt, but I'm using an 11. Once again, break this free just so that it can be ready to go when the caliper is off. It'll be a lot easier to remove. I'm going to snug it back up so fluid doesn't drip, and let's dismount the caliper. You're going to need a 17mm socket to remove this bolt here, and there's another one that's hidden right up here. These hold the caliper and bracket assembly onto the knuckle. We're just going to pull this off as a unit. Unthread this one, but leave it in a few threads so it can hold the caliper bracket on while you remove the top one. This one's out. Finish removing this one. Take the bracket and the caliper assembly off. Set this to the side. Now I can remove my bolt. There we go. These pads keep wanting to fall off, so I might as well just remove them now. All you have to do is push them in and slide them out through the center of the caliper. Same for the inner pad. Set the caliper aside, but make sure it doesn't hang on the brake hose. Now on this new caliper, to prepare it for installation, we have to do a couple different things. First is to add a little bit of silicone paste or brake grease. If you're using silicone paste, make sure it's rated for high temperatures. Right here on the areas where we're going to put the anti-rattle clips, and you want to do this to prevent rust from building up in the future. Then take the anti-rattle clip and snap it in. Has some hooks in the middle, and make sure it drops in on the 2 ends as well. Once that's nicely locked in, flip it over and do the same on the other side over here. Once again, a thin layer, because if you put too much, it'll actually squeeze out and get onto the rotor once you put the anti-rattle clip and especially the pads on. So you just want a nice thin layer to prevent corrosion. And with this done, we're actually going to remove the slider pins and re-grease them, or add grease I should say, because the grease that's in here isn't enough for full brake operation. As you can see, a lot of times these get stuck because they're so tight on here, which is a good thing, but if you end up using a little pocket screwdriver to help you out, you want to make sure that you don't pierce them by accident. I'm going to wipe off some of this grease so I can put my own in here. And what I like to do is take a little bit on my brush and add it inside of the boot. That way there's extra in there so that it can disperse through as the brakes operate over time, and add a little bit to the slider pin itself. Just a thin layer. You can't put too much on it because if you do, it'll just get wiped off as you put it inside of the boot. As you can see, a lot of it does get wiped off. There will be air stuck in here, so press on the pin, squeeze on the boot, or use a little pocket screwdriver to lift it up, and the air should come right out. Now you want to wipe off any grease that may have come out. There we go. Flip this around. Let's do the same to this one over here. Give these a few twists, and this caliper bracket is ready for installation, so let's do that. Now take your new bracket and put the 2 bolts on. Be careful, because between the bracket and the knuckle there's a couple small shims in there that can't fall off, otherwise the caliper won't be lined up correctly. So if they do fall off, you're going to have to fish them out from behind the rotor and put them back on. Tighten up your bolts. Once you have these snugged up, torque them both to 80 foot-pounds. All right, The inner pad is the one that has the wear indicator, with the wear indicator being on the bottom. So slide this in, and the outer one has no wear indicator. Slide this one in as well. Make sure they're fully seated and make sure that they slide around smoothly. If they don't slide around smoothly, it's most likely because the anti-rattle clips are not lined up and seated properly. Take the caliper, slide it over, get your 2 bolts ready and line them up. Start them in by hand so they don't cross thread. Bottom them out. The torque for these is 18 foot-pounds. If the slider pins spin as you try to tighten these bolts, you can hold them with a 17mm headed wrench right over here. Take the parking brake cable and hook it onto the lever. Pull it down and behind this bracket. Get it seated and lined up and start in the bolt. Snug this up. Just give it about 1/8 to 1/4 turn after it bottoms out. There is a lock washer in there that needs to squish and lock it in. Now finish removing the banjo bolt from the old caliper. Have a collection bucket underneath because fluid will leak. Take this off. Make sure both of the copper washers fall off of there. You don't want them to be stuck on the hose. Remove the new banjo bolt from the new caliper. It should come with 2 new copper washers as well that we're going to install. As you remove it, take 1 washer off but leave 1 on. Take the hose, put the banjo bolt through with that 1 copper washer. Put the other one on the other side, basically sandwiching the hose in between the 2. And slide this over the caliper, making sure that this little hook lines up with its cutout. Bottom this out. Let's snug it up so it stops leaking. Use that same 11mm to give this a quick snug. And let's tighten this to 26 foot-pounds. That's it right there. You just want to crush those copper washers so we can make a nice tight seal. Now take the bleeder screw cap off. Use a 10mm wrench to open this up. Let gravity pull the fluid through and push the air out. This is called a gravity bleed. After this, there shouldn't be any air left. However, if you think there is air left in the system, you can perform a full manual brake bleed, which you'll see how to do at the end of the video. For now, let's continue with the gravity bleed. All right, we have a steady trickle of fluid here with no air bubbles. That's perfect. So I'm going to close this off. Make it nice and snug, about 1/8 of a turn after it bottoms out. And I'm going to clean all of the brake fluid here with some brake parts cleaner. I don't want any residual here or anywhere really, so I can make sure that there are no leaks, but also it is damaging to any sort of painted surface. Make sure that collection bucket is underneath to catch the fluid. With everything dried off, cap off the bleeder screw. Let's get the wheel back on. Start on all 5 lug nuts, bottom them out in a cross pattern, and also in a cross pattern we're going to torque them to 79 foot-pounds. Once again, 79 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. Here we go. Double check them all. Take it for a road test. Under the hood, you'll find the brake master cylinder located on the driver's side, right next to the strut tower. Mine is somewhat dirty, so I'm going to take a rag and just clean around it. That way when I remove the cap, the dirt doesn't fall into the master cylinder, but rather goes to the side of it. That's plenty clean. Turn it counterclockwise and pull it off. Now if you read the cap closely, it'll say that it requires .3 or .4 brake fluid. So make sure you have plenty on hand to do this job. And at this point, I like to start by removing the fluid that's in the reservoir so I can start with fresh fluid from the beginning. There's a little screen here that has to be removed. And I have a vacuum pump that's able to suck all the brake fluid out of the reservoir. So I'm going to stick the hose all the way down in here and remove the fluid. All right, I got all my fluid out. Put the little screen back in. Now let's fill this up with brake fluid up to the full line, which is basically right below the cap right here. Okay, that's full, so let's reinstall the cap. Make sure that's sealed up properly. The sequence for bleeding these brakes is actually a clockwise pattern starting at the driver's front wheel. So you're going to go left front, right rear, left rear. That's how you're going to bleed the calipers. And in between each axle, so after you do the front, you're going to top off the master cylinder. And then again, after you do the rear, you're going to top off the master cylinder again to keep it nice and full. At the end, if you think your brake pedal feels too soft and that there's still air trapped in the system, bleed again in the same sequence, and that should get all the air right out. I have an assistant in the vehicle ready to pump up that brake pedal. And to start, I'm going to take the bleeder screw cap off. I have this receptacle with a hose on it so I can make less of a mess. I'm going to put that on the bleeder screw and use a 10mm wrench to crack it open after they pump up the brake pedal a few times and then hold pressure on it so the brake fluid can be pushed out. Go ahead and pump.
Holding.
Okay, holding, so I'm going to open this up. There we go. That reached the floor, so I'm going to close it back off, and then they're going to go and pump again.
Holding.
All right, open it back up. We're going to do this until we have no more air bubbles coming out. Go ahead and pump again.
Holding.
Perfect. We got 2 clean bleeds in a row. Let's do it one last time, just for safe measure. Go ahead and pump.
Holding.
Perfect. Okay, you can go ahead and let off the brake now. Remove my hose. If anything dripped, go ahead and clean it off with some brake parts cleaner. And wipe it off with a rag. Then go ahead and cap this off so dirt and debris don't get in there and clog it up. Now we're going to do the same exact thing on the right front. And then we're going to top off that master cylinder and move to the rear. Let's top off the master cylinder. All right, we're now at the right rear caliper. We have topped off the master cylinder, so I'm going to take the bleeder screw cap off. Get the same little hose attached to this. With that same 10mm wrench is what I'm going to use to open up the bleeder screw. Go ahead and pump.
Holding.
Okay, holding pressure. Open this up. All right, we got air in this one. Go ahead and pump again.
Holding.
Okay. That's looking better. Go ahead and pump again.
Holding.
Okay. This one was clean. Let's do it again.
Holding.
Perfect. You can let go now. We have no air bubbles. Nice clean fluid came through. So at this point, we're going to clean this area off. Use some brake parts cleaner. Wipe it down. Cap it off. We're going to move to the left rear and do the same exact thing over there. Let's top off the master cylinder one last time. Make sure it's nice and full with fresh fluid. Now our job is done, but if your pedal doesn't feel right, go through the same sequence again until you feel it nice and firm with the engine off and you have no air coming out of the bleeder screws. Once you're done and you're happy, put the wheels back on. The torque for these is 79 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. Take it for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.